Greece, a land of ancient myths, sun-drenched islands, and a history as rich and layered as its flaky spanakopita. This is where we find Joe. He's not a historian or a poet. Joe's just a man trying to outrun his grief, 1 mile at a time. His weathered hands, calloused from years of hard work, now navigate the curves of a winding coastal road. These same hands once held his beloved wife, Mary. They shared a dream of exploring this ancient land together. But life, as it often does, had other plans. Mary's light was dimmed too soon, leaving Joe with a heart heavy with loss and a yearning to fulfill their shared dream. His motorcycle is his only companion now. The roar of the engine, a constant hum against the silence of his thoughts. He's not running from his grief, not really, more like riding alongside it, trying to find a way to make peace with its presence. The Greek sun beats down on Joe's face, warming his skin. He breathes in the air, fragrant with the scent of wild herbs and the salty tang of the nearby sea. Each town, each village he passes through is a brushstroke on the canvas of his journey. He follows the route they'd planned together, his finger tracing the lines on the map, their shared dream, a tangible presence in the worn creases. He imagines Mary beside him, her eyes sparkling with awe as they gaze upon the Acropolis. He can almost hear her laughter, her voice filled with wonder. In these moments, the pain of her absence feels almost unbearable. The locals, with their warm smiles and generous spirits, welcome him like a long-lost friend. They share their stories, their food, their traditions. They remind him of the simple joys of life, the beauty of human connection. He carries Mary with him, not as a burden, but as a guiding star. Her memory, a bittersweet ache in his chest, propels him forward. This journey, their journey, is far from over. Athens, a city steeped in history, where the echoes of ancient philosophers and the whispers of forgotten gods linger in the air. Joe finds himself caught in the city's chaotic yet captivating rhythm. He parks his bike, the rumble of the engine fading into the background hum of the city. Above him, the Acropolis stands in stark relief against the azure sky, a testament to the enduring spirit of a civilization long gone. He wanders through the labyrinthine streets of the Plaka district, his senses overwhelmed by the sights, sounds, and smells of this ancient city. The air is thick with the aroma of spices, freshly baked bread, and the tang of strong Greek coffee. Vendors hawk their wares, their voices a melodic counterpoint to the laughter and chatter of tourists and locals alike. Joe pauses to admire the intricate designs on a hand-painted vase, imagining Mary's delight at its beauty. Echoes of the past. He reaches the summit of the Acropolis, the city spread out before him like a map unfolded. The weight of history presses down on him, a tangible reminder of the passage of time, the rise and fall of empires. He runs his hand over the weathered marble, its surface smooth and cool beneath his touch. He closes his eyes, trying to bridge the gap between the present and the past, to feel the presence of the countless souls who have stood in this very spot. He finds a quiet corner, sheltered from the midday sun, and takes out his notebook. He sketches the scene before him, his pencil moving across the paper, capturing the essence of the moment. In these moments of quiet reflection, surrounded by the ghosts of history, he feels a sense of peace he hasn't felt since Mary's passing. A taste of connection. He seeks refuge from the afternoon sun in a small, family-run taverna tucked away on a side street. The owner, a jovial man with eyes that crinkle at the corners when he smiles, welcomes Joe like an old friend.
Welcome, my friend. Come sit, enjoy.
Joe orders a simple meal of moussaka and a glass of retsina. The food, infused with the flavors of Greece, fills him with a warmth that spreads through his weary limbs. He struggles to communicate with the owner, their words a mix of broken English and even more fractured Greek. But language, he realizes, is less about words and more about shared smiles, gestures, and the universal desire for connection.
My family, they mean everything to me. Life here, it is simple, but it is good.
He learns about the owner's family, his hopes and dreams for the future. He hears stories of life in Greece, of resilience, of finding joy in the simplest of things. In these shared moments, Joe feels a flicker of hope, a reminder that even in grief, life goes on. Winding roads, open heart. Leaving the bustling city behind, Joe sets his sights on the heart of Greece. His journey takes him along winding roads that snake through valleys blanketed in vineyards and olive groves. The air is alive with the scent of wildflowers and the salty tang of the sea. He feels the wind in his hair, the sun on his face, and a sense of freedom he hasn't felt in years. He stops often, captivated by the beauty that unfolds before him. Each turn in the road reveals a new vista, a picturesque village perched on a hillside, ancient ruins bathed in the golden light of the setting sun. He's drawn to these small villages, where life moves at a slower pace, where time seems to stand still. He's met with curiosity, warmth, and an openness that disarms him. In a village nestled high in the mountains, he stumbles upon an unexpected gift, an invitation to share a meal with a local family. Their home is filled with the aroma of freshly baked bread and the sound of laughter. He listens intently as they share stories of their lives, their struggles, their joys. Their words, though difficult to understand at times, speak volumes of resilience, of finding beauty in the everyday. They teach him a few words of Greek, their laughter filling the small room as he stumbles over the pronunciation. He joins them in a traditional dance, his initial awkwardness melting away as he loses himself in the rhythm. As he prepares to leave, the family's young daughter presents him with a small hand-woven bracelet. A simple gesture, yet it carries the weight of their shared experience, a tangible reminder of the kindness of strangers. Later that evening, as the sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the land, Joe finds himself on a hilltop overlooking the Aegean Sea. He takes out a small photograph of Mary, her smiling face a beacon of warmth against the growing darkness. He imagines her standing beside him, her hand in his, her laughter echoing in the gentle breeze. He raises a glass of local wine in a silent toast, his heart heavy with sadness, yet lighter than it's been in months. In this moment of quiet reflection, surrounded by the beauty of Greece, he feels a sense of closure, of peace. He knows his journey is far from over, but he's no longer afraid to embrace the road ahead. Armed with Mary's memory and the kindness of strangers, he's ready to face whatever lies ahead, 1 mile at a time. The lure of the Greek islands proves irresistible. Joe boards a ferry, his motorcycle secured on the lower deck. He watches the mainland recede, anticipation building in his chest. The ferry docks at a small island, its harbour a riot of colour and sound. Whitewashed houses cling to the hillside, blue shutters open to the sun. He navigates his bike through narrow, cobbled streets, the air thick with bougainvillea. Old men sit outside a cafe, playing backgammon and sipping strong coffee. On the pier, Joe strikes up a conversation with a fisherman mending his nets. He doesn't speak much English, but his eyes, crinkled at the corners from years spent squinting at the horizon, hold a depth of wisdom that transcends language. With a mix of gestures and broken words, they talk about life, about loss, about the sea's unpredictable nature. The fisherman speaks of the ocean's power to both soothe and savage, to take away as easily as it gives. Joe listens, his own grief a dull ache in his chest. He shares the story of Mary, of their shared dream of visiting these islands, their laughter echoing now only in his memory. The fisherman listens patiently, his silence more comforting than any words could be. As the sun sets, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, they share a simple toast, a toast to life, to loss, and to the enduring power of the human spirit. Each day on the island unfolds like a chapter in a well-loved book. Joe spends his mornings exploring hidden coves, his afternoons indulging in long, lazy lunches at seaside tavernas. He savours the fresh, simple flavours of the Aegean grilled octopus drizzled with lemon and oregano, juicy tomatoes bursting with sunshine, the tangy saltiness of feta cheese. He learns to cook a traditional moussaka from a kindly old woman who reminds him of his own grandmother. He sips strong Greek coffee with the locals, their laughter washing over him like a warm wave. He even tries his hand at a traditional Greek dance, his initial awkwardness giving way to laughter as he's swept up in the rhythm of the music and the warmth of the people. One evening, as the sun begins its descent, casting long shadows across the sand, Joe finds himself drawn to a deserted beach. The air is still, the only sound the gentle lapping of the waves against the shore. He plugs in his headphones, the familiar strains of Mary's favorite song filling his ears. He closes his eyes and begins to dance, his movements slow and deliberate. He imagines Mary there with him, her laughter echoing in the gentle breeze, her hand in his. He can almost feel her presence, the warmth of her touch, the scent of her perfume. As the last rays of sunlight fade from the sky, he collapses onto the sand, his grief and exhaustion overwhelming him. He lies there for a long time, staring up at the vast expanse of the starlit sky, feeling both incredibly small and strangely connected to something much larger than himself. The days melt into one another, each sunrise a promise of healing, each sunset a poignant reminder of her absence. He finds solace in the solitude of the islands, in the quiet moments of reflection. He sees her in the wildflowers that carpet the hillsides, their vibrant colors a testament to life's enduring beauty. He hears her laughter in the gentle lapping of the waves against the shore, a soothing melody that calms his restless soul. The sea, with its vastness and ever-changing moods, becomes his confidant. He sits for hours on the shore, listening to the waves whisper her name, sharing his hopes, his fears, his dreams. He builds small cairns of stones, each one a silent prayer, a testament to his love, a symbol of his enduring connection to her spirit. He begins to write again, his journal a tapestry, woven with memories, observations, and reflections. He writes about the kindness of strangers, the beauty of the Greek landscape, the flavors that dance on his tongue. He writes about his grief, his anger, his confusion, but also about the moments of peace, the glimpses of hope that flicker like fireflies in the darkness. He writes about Mary, her laughter, her smile, the way her eyes sparkled with mischief and love. He places a faded Polaroid photograph of her next to his journal. In the photo, she's standing on a beach, her hair wind-blown, her face radiant with joy. The memory of that day washes over him, bittersweet but comforting. He traces the outline of her face with his finger, his heart aching with a love that even death can't diminish. He knows he can't stay lost in the past forever, but he also knows he'll carry her with him, in his heart, in his memories, for the rest of his days. As his time on the islands draws to a close, Joe feels a shift within himself. The raw edges of his grief have softened, replaced by a quiet acceptance. He boards the ferry, his motorcycle a familiar weight beside him. He watches as the island shrinks into the distance, a sense of gratitude washing over him. He came to Greece seeking solace, but he's leaving with a renewed sense of purpose. He doesn't know what the future holds, but he's no longer afraid to face it. Joe rides on, his motorcycle a symbol of freedom and resilience. He carries Mary's memory with him, not as a burden, but as a guiding light. Joe sits at a small cafe, the aroma of strong Greek coffee filling his senses. He pulls out his worn journal, pages filled with his journey, each word a brushstroke, painting a portrait of grief and healing. He rereads the stories like precious souvenirs, the laughter of shopkeepers, the wisdom in the fisherman's face, each encounter a testament to human connection. He tucks Mary's photo back, a pang of sadness but also peace. Greece has been a balm to his soul. He kicks up the kickstand of his motorcycle, the familiar rumble, a comforting sound. Ahead of him stretches the open road, a symbol of the journey yet to be traveled. He doesn't know where it will lead, what adventures await, but he's no longer afraid of the unknown. His journey through Greece has been a pilgrimage of sorts, a way to honor Mary's memory while paving his own path forward. He carries her with him, not as a weight, but as a guiding star, her love a beacon illuminating the road ahead. Life, he's learned, is a journey best traveled with an open heart, a willingness to embrace the unexpected detours, and the courage to keep moving forward even when the road ahead seems uncertain. Don't miss out on any of our thrilling videos. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. And if you'd like to support the creation of more content like this, consider using our affiliate link for your next travel booking. It's a small act that goes a long way in keeping this adventure going. Let's explore the world together. And as Joe rides off into the sunset, we're left with a sense of hope, a reminder that even in the face of loss, life, like the open road, is a journey meant to be savored 1 mile at a time.